wars come to an end.
I had a vision that out of this crucible of blood and fire will rise the dark night that your city needs.
When the ones you love die, it's like a part of yourself is cut off forever.
Because of what we did. Nissa and Bane are coming after me and Barbara. Coming after Gotham.
Anyone still in Gotham is an enemy of the state.
I won't be party to the murder of civilians, General.
And then you're relieved of command. Does anybody else have a problem with the General's orders? Good. Let's get started.
My father made his name destroying empires. Now it's my turn.
Need to find another way to slow them down.
They're only delaying the inevitable.
Jim, that thing's pointing right at us!
Soon you and Bruce Wayne will see Gotham destroyed. Then I'll allow you to die.
Can we really be so cavalier about the destruction of Gotham?
Oh, let me think about that.
Yes!
Following your heart has never worked out for you.
I'm sorry you weren't there to see me break your butler, but I'm so glad you won't miss me killing your little friend.
Didn't think you'd be foolish enough to come alone.
I don't need help to take you down.
Don't you see? It's over. I was expecting a little more gusto.
You want gusto?
Perhaps you could learn something if you listened to this instead of this.
All this time I tried to protect you. And you are a soldier. A soldier for good.
This city is part of me. You know what I'm talking about because it's part of you too. I'm staying to fight.
The army just busted through the GCPD checkpoint. Bane's leading them.
How many men?
600, 700,
How many do we have?
maybe 30.
31. Kind of like this city the way it is. Shall we?
All wars come to an end.
This isn't a war. This is a firing squad.
You have a choice. You can stand with us, or you can stand with them.
Ready? Aim!
For Gotham.
What is up, Gothamites? Welcome to a brand new Gotham trailer breakdown. Now, as predicted, here we are with the hype trailer for episode 11. Now, this trailer is called No Man's Land. This is a very, very cool trailer, but as usual, you know, as you probably just saw, it did show like relatively, I'm guessing 75%-ish of the episode in terms of it probably featured most scenes in the episode. So if you go into this episode feeling like, oh, you know, a bit underwhelmed, or like you felt like you've seen this before, that's because you have. But either way, you know, I'm here to break this down as always. I want to throw a few predictions in there as well, things that I want to happen, things that I don't want to happen. So I'd love for you guys to join me down in the comment section below with your, you know, predictions. But honestly, everyone, this really is it. As Jim says right at the beginning of the trailer, the war has come to an end. This is where everything's going to settle with Bane. I mean, some of you may feel like this has been a little bit rushed, but don't forget that even though Bane was introduced, you know, midway through the season or maybe a little bit after that, there's only been so many episodes. Like with 12 episodes, you know, of course things are going to be rushed. But of course, guys, before we get through the shot-by-shot breakdown of this trailer, be sure to subscribe for more videos just like this. Check out some of my other videos in the cards above as well, and be sure to like this video if you do go on to enjoy it, as I really do appreciate each and every single one of you who clicks that like button. So let's dive straight into this, guys, and that is where we first see what I really do like. Well, I'm glad they don't do the like 4-minute recaps, you know, from previous seasons and stuff like that, because that did drag out a little bit. But this is important. What Ra's al Ghul said to Bruce when he was with Jeremiah in terms of how he envisions the Dark Knight coming out of, you know, the destruction that is going to be taking place at the end of season 4, which did, you know, kickstart No Man's Land. And that is what is happening. Quite literally, the war is coming to an end this episode. Somehow, one way or another, Jim is going to defeat Bane and, you know, Bruce and all the allies of like Penguin and Riddler and all of that. But what's going to come out of it is the Batman, or at least the beginning of that, where Bruce will travel around the world. I'm guessing that Gotham is going to do it that way, and you know, learn the ways of becoming the Batman, and then return in the 10-year time jump, which will kickstart that episode. Now, at the main beginning of the trailer, we see Bruce saying to Selina, because of what we did, Nyssa may be coming after me and Barbara. What he's blatantly referring to there is when Barbara essentially grabbed Bruce's hand, as we saw a second ago in the trailer, and stabbed Ra's al Ghul. Now, I honestly don't think Bruce would have done that by himself. Like, I feel like Barbara did mainly kill Ra's. Bruce, I guess, could have, you know, tugged away, I guess, from Barbara. I'm sure some of you would argue that, but you know, Bruce killing is kind of a debatable thing, especially after he says, I won't kill, and then he, you know, killed Ra's al Ghul and then kind of did it again. That's a big topic of discussion amongst some fans. But you know, that's just like a throwaway thought. I'd love to know what you thought there. Do you think Bruce was mainly responsible for that, or Barbara? I think it was Barbara personally. But as you can see, guys, Alfred's fine. I know some of you thought he would die. I just never thought that was going to happen in terms of, like, in the Batman mythos, even though this is Gotham or whatever, that they would never do that. I am extremely confident of that, and yeah, there he is. He's just chilling in the background, trying to recover, because yeah, his back's a little bit broken, and his neck, he's just injured to hell, obviously, because you saw what Bane did to him. But I also feel that that line that Bruce used in terms of Nyssa's coming after me and Barbara for like what we did, but like also coming after Gotham, this is a heavy drive as to why Bruce will leave by the end of this episode. As I've said in my past few videos, they're spelling that out to us. He does feel the need to leave, and you know, obviously he will return one day when he's ready to be that protector of Gotham, but that will be in 10 years time. But man, like, probably Bruce is feeling extremely guilty right now after what's been happening so far, what's happened to Alfred. We see the choppers here blowing the F out of Gotham. He's just like, man, after this gets sorted out, I need to go, because he does feel very responsible. This is when we see that army general. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but essentially he blatantly had a chip in his head because his eyes flashed or whatever, so he's under the freaking command of Nyssa or whatever, or Hugo. Anyone in Gotham is an enemy of the state, which is why they're trying to blow it to sweet hell. And then we see this commanding military guy is basically saying, well, I don't agree to like killing a load of civilians, and then Bane essentially walks in saying, well, you're relieved of command, because Bane is fulfilling Ra's al Ghul's wishes, which is to absolutely dominate Gotham. So that is how he's going to get this, you know, force of military guys. I'm guessing a lot of people won't want to stand up to Bane after witnessing their commander getting his neck snapped. Now, you may have heard me talk about how in trailers like this, not just like this, but for other shows as well, they show some scenes out of order. So like a scene that we're about to talk about is actually probably towards the end of the episode, and we see clips later on in this trailer which you know, follow immediately after this. So for example, here we see the Wayne Tower, I believe, actually being destroyed, and it's falling on a load of who I believe to be Bane's men. I would have to think that all of those guys down there are Bane's men. And later on in the trailer we do see seemingly Bruce and Selina blow up his own freaking building, and it's a way of like trampling a load of Bane's men, maybe, or maybe just blocking them off from getting through to, I don't know, the green zone or something. Obviously, if Bruce does this himself, there's going to be a whole load of comments saying Bruce technically just contributed to a load of Marines just dying, maybe, and Batman's no kill rule. We're going to have to wait and see there. I just wanted to chuck that out there. But yeah, this is definitely that building collapsing, I believe, when we see Bruce and Selina running out later on in this trailer, but we'll get to that in a little bit. I mean, after all, in the very next scene in the trailer, we hear Jim saying we need to find another way of slowing them down, and Bane's just like, you're only delaying the inevitable. So maybe honestly, that is like what I just said, Bruce trying to block them off. Now, in the next clips, it looks like Nyssa's already captured Barbara, and we see little baby Papa Gordon laying there on the freaking sofa, I'm guessing in Penguin's office. And if you guys don't already know from the synopsis, I probably should have read it out earlier, but maybe you heard it from one of my previous videos. Nyssa al Ghul intends to take baby Papa Gordon, that's just my nickname for the baby, and raise the baby as her own. And we also hear Nyssa saying that badass villain speech of, oh, you know, Gotham's gonna be destroyed, blah blah blah, you know, but it's gonna be fine, really. I mean, it'll be pretty busted up, but you know, everything's gonna be fine. But and then, and only then, once it's destroyed, I'll allow you to die. But as she's saying this, I'm pretty sure, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, is that the blade that was used to kill her father, Ra's al Ghul? I know, like, some of you guys like to correct me about Ra's al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul, but in this series, they, well, at least David Mazouz calls him Ra's al Ghul. But no, no, seriously, that looks like the blade that was used to kill her father, so maybe she wants to poetically kill them both after Gotham's destroyed with the very blade that was used to kill Ra's al Ghul. I really like the part in the trailer where Enigma and Penguin are debating about leaving Gotham, and Penguin's actually all about kind of staying now. Enigma's just like saying you shouldn't use your heart so much, you should think with your head because your heart's got you in problems before, which is true, but Oswald then turns it around on him in the trailer and it's just like, well, maybe if you thought with your heart a bit more, you know, you would be a bit more successful, whatever. But the point is, he's basically persuaded Riddler to stay. We see him later on in the trailer, like, turn up last minute. So, you know, this is what I mean by spoilers. Like, we know this is going to happen. We know that Riddler's got to seemingly, like, leave Gotham, but then turn up last minute to join Jim, Lee, Harvey, in the battle against Bane, you know, where he obviously blows a wall in the massive Gotham kind of wall they got up with the RPG, so on and so forth. So that was a nice little chuck in there, and I'm really looking forward to seeing these scenes with Penguin and Enigma. Other little quick scenes in between this as well, where we see Lee and Selina actually witnessing, I believe, the building collapse, because it's amongst all that rubble anyway, happening in the trailer. We also see, amongst what I was just talking about with Penguin and Enigma debating about following his heart, and maybe Enigma should do that, we see that Penguin gets his eye injury. Now this, from what we've seen in other trailers, is when they're all fighting against Bane's men just before he uses that RPG. Penguin might get a ricochet of a bullet or some other thing. I don't think it's an actual bullet to his eye. It's just something like that. Either way, this will lead into his monocle. Now, from the promo photos by the end of the episode, kind of spoiler warning here, I guess, but these are official promo photos. Like, they want you to see this. This is to promote the episode, just like this trailer. We can see that Penguin's kind of got something to protect his eye in the meantime anyway, before he gets, like, the monocle once it's healed a little bit more. And just a side note anyway, in regards to my last video, which I did film a few days before I uploaded it, I was talking about how maybe Lee will die, since the baby is called Barbara Lee Gordon, and I don't think Barbara's going to die anymore. But it seems that both of them will be fine, maybe, because I believe these promo photos are at the end of the episode. You can see that Jim is clearly getting medals here, and all the people who basically held the pillars of Gotham up during No Man's Land. So it looks like they're going to be fine. So I think Barbara and Lee will be fine, unless one of them dies mysteriously in between the 10-year time jump, which isn't going to happen, because that would be extremely awful storytelling. They're both going to be fine. So yeah, Barbara and Lee, theories out the window, I guess, for now. I love this scene between Bruce and Bane. I love how furious Bruce looks here. Very good acting from David Mazouz. I mean, he just looks, he's like, if you hurt Selina, I'm gonna freaking kill you, dude. But the line from Bane was just like, I'm sorry you didn't get to see me break your butler. I mean, how ironic is, well, I mean, I know this show isn't super traditionalist, but Bane will also break Batman's back one day again, I'm sure. You know, I'd like to think that would happen maybe 15 years from now or something, a few years into Batman's career. But either way, we see Selina struggling there. We've seen this in other trailers, just a few different angles. I'm very intrigued to see how he's got to stop him from breaking Selina's neck. Maybe it might be a simple taunt. Maybe it's just like, let her go and, like, you know, fight me. And maybe Bane's so cocky and overconfident that it's his downfall. Other than that, unless they're going to do a Batarang moment or something like that, where it just distracts Bane momentarily for Selina to slip away, I don't know why in the heck he would let Selina go unless it's for plot reasons, because he could literally just go snap. But he's obviously not going to. Now, no matter what anyone says, the way I'm perceiving this, I do not massively like. You know, Nissa Al Ghul versus Jim Gordon. Now, I love Jim Gordon in this show. I love Ben McKenzie. I love what he's done with this show. I love what he's done with the character of Jim Gordon. I mean, the whole show was basically made about him originally. But I just can't buy Jim Gordon defeating Nissa Al Ghul. Like, when he's just, she says, like, oh, I expected a bit more, like, gusto, and he's like, you want gusto, and then carries on fighting, or he's just like, you know, I can take you down. It's just like, Jim, no, you can't. And with all due respect to the writers, you know, if they do this, I really won't like it, and I will say that in my review. I know some of you just might not care about that, but this is coming from the perspective that this is, you know, from my understandings of the characters and everything like that, she is the daughter of the demon. She is a League of Shadows trained woman. God knows how old she is. She's been bathing in pits and stuff like that. So she shouldn't, Jim, a guy just fair enough with a vest on, will probably take a few more punches than normal, shouldn't be able to defeat her. So fair enough if it was like Barbara or someone else just shooting her from the side or something whilst he distracts her, that would be believable. I kind of, but I don't want him to single-handedly defeat her in combat. It just wouldn't make sense. But either way, Jim arrives there alone. This is men, or Bane's men. We see the military guys there holding Barbara at gunpoint whilst these two battle. But I would love to know how you think she is going to be defeated, because that's very intriguing, because Bane is probably being handled by Bruce in those final moments, and obviously Jim is going to rescue baby Papa Gordon and baby Papa Gordon's mother single-handedly, so it seems. But I'm sure there's going to be a little card up his sleeve in terms of Harvey or somebody else coming in at last minute, but we'll have to wait and see there. I also really adore that line from Alfred saying, all this time I've tried to protect you, but here you are, a soldier for good. Now this is amongst all those scenes where it looks like Bruce and Selina plant that bomb or whatever it is, probably he got from Lucius or something, and they're running away and the building blows up. You know, but here we see Bruce, I guess you could say in a proto-bat suit, but really it's just like probably Lucius Fox Wayne R&D latest designed you know, bulletproof vest. But obviously it's meant to kind of point out, oh look, kind of looks where the bat emblem would go, and it is badass. And this isn't the first time we've seen these gadgets either. It'd be really cool if they were, I would like it, I think I would prefer it actually if they weren't Wayne R&D stuff from Lucius and they were Alfred's old SAS gear stuff, because that would be really fitting. But obviously Wayne Enterprises blowing up here sets up that storyline in the synopsis for the 10-year time jump, because Bruce Wayne, the billionaire, is returning back to Gotham because his new Wayne Tower is being built. So that's the whole premise, you know, for, you know, it's a big thing in a town like Gotham when a billionaire, you know, homeboy of Gotham, so to speak, is returning. That's why, you know, probably a lot of people are going to be looking out for him. But it's also very convenient that the Batman happens to be turning up at the same time. I can't believe I didn't hear this before, but when Harvey comes in talking about how many men Bane has when they busted through that checkpoint, he says he has 600-700 men. What? Versus 31, including Riddler, which is that moment I was talking about earlier when he comes in the office. Wow, I didn't expect that many men. I mean, I'm really intrigued to see how they're going to stop him. Now, as if kind of said, from behind the scenes photos, and from the trailers even, they do show that it's basically Jim and kind of crew standing up against him, and it seems that maybe a lot of civilians might join them as well, which I don't, you know, I kind of want a more cooler ending than that, because the civilians weren't exactly be armed, and it's not like Bane's gonna be like, oh, I'm intimidating by the citizens of Gotham coming, even though I do get the undertone of nice storytelling there, and it's Gotham rising up against their freaking oppressors that is Bane. But to be honest, in that last moment when Bane says this isn't a war, this is a firing squad, because I'm guessing maybe Wayne Enterprises being blown up took out a whole lot of Bane's men, maybe, like what we discussed earlier. So we're gonna have to see if that is the case, and that's what Bruce and Selina actually meant to do with that building blowing up. But you know, still, he has got a mother freaking firing squad there, and sure enough, you've got, you know, Riddler there, you've got Penguin, you've got Selina, you've got Bruce Wayne, you've got Jim, you've got Harvey, you've got Lee Tompkins, and sure, maybe a few citizens of Gotham, but I do wonder exactly what else is going to happen, because there's still no match for Bane and his men. They do tease us with that bat moment, you know, that Bruce somehow gathers a load of bats from the subway or something. So it would be pretty neat maybe if he used those bats to like swarm Bane's men, and that gives a massive, you know, distraction and disadvantage to Bane's men, that maybe Jim and crew could literally take him out when they're like, ah, a load of bats, please help. You get my drift there. Just random speculation. I have no idea at the end of the day, but we just have to wait and see. But that is basically the trailer, guys. Other than that, everyone, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like on it, as it really does show your support for the channel. Of course, join my Discord server down in the links below if you want to talk to me directly there, and other, you know, Gothamites and other fans of other shows and stuff. It's a growing community. It's very vibrant at the minute, so let's keep it going. There are other links in the description to my Patreon. Patrons are popping up on screen right now, so thank you to every single one of you guys who have pledged to me and helped, you know, support the channel. Links to my Twitter and Instagram and everything are there. But thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.